Cool. All right. So we haven't posted in a while. Lots of stuff has been going on. Things have been crazy, wild, stressful. So COVID.
Things have been COVID.
2020 theme. It better end by 2021. That's all I have to say. Thought you were flipping them off.
Fingers crossed.
I was like, that's rude.
Fingers crossed.
Hey y'all, it's Kritika and Finley. I just wanted to pop in and warn you that I may look a little bit different in the video you're about to watch. I had just come from a makeup trial, my third time getting it done, and it didn't go so well, and we'll touch on that a little bit during this video. But if you want to learn more about all that, grab a drink and then go over to the other one where I basically talk about my makeup struggles for the wedding and then in general. He's like, I'm out of here. So we are getting along in the wedding planning. There's still a big part of me that sometimes feels that I'm just playing pretend.
We've gone back and forth.
Yeah, we've just gone really back and forth. Go for it. This is how our marriage is gonna be.
We've gone back and forth on if we're even going to have the wedding at all, or if we're going to move the wedding up, not back, and just go ahead and get it over with a smaller number of people, or if we're going to move forward with what we were originally planning. And I think we were pretty close to moving it up to December at one point, and having a smaller number of people, maybe 50 to 75. But then we decided not to do that because we thought that December is probably not going to look any better than it does now. If anything, it could be worse, but odds are it's not going to be any better. And there's still a chance that March could be better.
Yeah, but there's a chance it could be better versus December not really having any changes. Even we talked about having a much smaller event, and I still think that it's not the safest. It's not possible to be 150% safe.
No, it's not. Statistically, like mathematically, that is absolutely impossible.
I was baiting you for that.
You can only be 100% safe. You can't be more than 100%.
All that taken into account, we're going to pretend and move forward. And we're going to pretend that everything is going to be fine.
We hope that everything will be fine.
Yes.
And that we'll be able to have what we want.
Brad's the glass half full person in this relationship.
I like to think of myself more as the realist. Let logic have its day.
Yep. Oh, okay, cool.
Trekkies out there will get that.
Oh, yeah.
So, like we said, we decided to move forward with the original dates in March, well, not the original dates. That's something that we haven't talked about.
Yeah, rude.
Camera. Originally, the wedding was supposed to be on March 27th. So the thing around that time of year here in Charleston, there's the Cooper River Bridge Run, which is a big 10K that brings in around 40,000 people. It's a big deal. You can't get hotel rooms anywhere close. Things shut down where our venue's at, that area, the roads in would be shut down. Lots of things going on. But that happens the first weekend in April. For some reason next year, they decided to have it the last weekend in March on the 27th instead of the first weekend in April like they always do. So with the bridge run, it would have been entirely too difficult to have the wedding on the 27th. So we didn't want to push it back any, so we pushed it up to March 13th. So now it's March 13th instead of March 27th.
We get 2 less weeks to run away.
2 less weeks.
2 less weeks to run away. Yep.
Everything is full steam ahead as far as deposits and vendors and all that kind of stuff. And we've got, I would say, all the major stuff locked down. The biggest outstanding thing is clothes aren't complete yet.
Yeah, and the Indian food isn't locked down.
And the Indian food's not locked down.
So
two biggest things. But besides that, we have a venue. We have a caterer for the American. So we're doing a combo American food and Indian food. We have a DJ. We have a planner of sorts. Day of coordinator, slash decorator slash
Florist
slash a bunch of slashes in there. Definitely didn't slash our budget. Not that kind of slash, but
funny. Our photographer that's a really hard word to say, is Lee Hayward. One of the cool things about Lee one of the things that really impressed us was within minutes of filling out the form, she called us and was very it was just instant chemistry. I would say it's kind of weird to say that, but I think it was important definitely for Brad to have someone that knew what was going on from a photography point of view, but also for me, because we probably needed someone that was used to colors. That was the biggest thing for us.
Used to colors, but also has to be flexible with what's going on because of there being different events. But yeah, I was very impressed with the timeliness, the very quick timeliness of the response, because there are still some photographers that we filled out the forms on their site and we are months later and never heard back from them.
Yep. When we took our engagement pictures, she was very flexible. We wanted to try something new. We wanted to take our engagement pictures at Prohibition, where we had our first date.
So a restaurant and a bar.
Restaurant and a bar, and we wanted to start off with that, and that was something that she'd never done before, but she was definitely very excited about it. And then we took the rest of our pictures at, what is it called?
We took
Charlestown Landing.
So
Charlestown Landing.
When people take engagement pictures or wedding pictures in Charleston, there's two main things that they do, places that they go to.
No offense to them, but that was just not our scene.
People take them downtown, Rainbow Row, by some of the old houses, or White Point Gardens, which is out at the Battery, which is at the kind of the end of the peninsula. Those are your quintessential Charleston downtown places. There's some cobblestone streets, things like that. That's where people take the pictures. The other places that people take the pictures, and of course that people have their weddings, is at plantations. And neither of those were things that we were interested in. Charlestown Landing is a state park. It's the site of one of the first, I believe the first, that's why they call it Charlestown Landing, the first settlement in the area way back when, 1600s. It's not where everybody goes, but it still has some of those pieces of Charleston that are very Charleston. So the oak trees, the old live oak trees with the Spanish moss and everything, they have those. You can still have some views of the Ashley River and downtown Charleston and some of the places. It's real beautiful. So we decided that we wanted to go there. We actually went there a couple weeks before the engagement pictures, walked around, scoped out places that we thought would be cool to take some pictures, just to have some ideas of what we might like and might not like. It's very big, and we didn't want to just wander around in a suit and heels.
And I was very particular.
I was wearing the suit and heels.
But I just had a few shots in my mind that I really wanted to make sure that we have, and that allowed us time to see where we would imagine those being.
And then with the engagement pictures, we have sent out our save the dates.
Yay!
Now, one of the difficult things with COVID is just planning for everything. We had a friend who got married recently, and she had to cut her guest list down because of limits and everything that were there. So, and this was after invites had already gone out, people had already been invited, so you had to disinvite people, and that's not fun for anyone. And you hope that people understand, but there's always going to be someone who takes it the wrong way or something like that. So you want to avoid that. So for us, one of the things that we're trying to do is we have our full guest list that we still are planning to invite to the wedding, but just in case we can't invite everybody and we have to reduce the number of lists on the list, we had only sent our save the dates to a section of that list to start with. That way we don't have to uninvite people later.
Yeah, we don't want it to seem like, oh, we're doing round one and round two, but essentially that's what, several of my friends have gotten married this past year or have thought about getting married, and that's essentially what people are having to do, is do a round one and round two. And it's not about oh, I'm not good enough. It's just, it's a difficult thing all around. I mean, we would love to have everyone there, but we also know that that's probably not going to be possible. And like Brad said, having to uninvite hurts our hearts a lot more.
So that's the update.